But let's go back to our earlier conversation on those fishes washed ashore. Thankfully, we have the FDA with an update this morning. Mr. Roderick Dadeje joins us via phone. Good morning to you, sir, if you can hear me. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Okay, great. So first of all, I want you to clarify, did we find these fishes also on the shores of Jalukofo in Keta?
There seems to be different phenomena that is happening. In terms of species and the rest, I think the best would be to get fisheries department to tell you. For us, we have observed various species. We don't have FDA, we don't have expertise for that. For the classifications, they will do, but at least the little that we can see. And that's why we use in our report assorted. There are assorted fish that is seen. It's curious. I mean, for example, you see along the coast of Accra, somewhere, somehow, Cape Coast, it didn't seem to have that at all. Our officers checked, they were with the fishermen. There wasn't anything at all happening there. But then, because it's all the way, then you go to, Western region, and they said. So, it's happening on a large scale, but that's the specific sport will not be able to tell you now. It's, the situation is flowing, as it is, but it's a coastal line issue that we have observed.
FDA, from your statement, is for those fishes not to be found on the market. You've put your men in charge. What do we know so far? Are they already on the market? Hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Roderick Dadeje. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you still hear me? Hello? Oh, I'm afraid we've lost him. We're just going to try and raise him back on the line. We want to find out if those fishes have found are already on the market. Have people smoked them or have they been chopped? We've seen in those pictures there from the scenes from Accra that some people have already chopped them into polythene bags. We want to find out from the FDA if these fishes have already are already on the markets, and if that's the case, how do we stop ourselves from purchasing, since not all of us can differentiate between dead fishes or those washed ashore and what we already normally purchase on the market. Hopefully we'll be able to get Mr. Roderick Dadeje, and also on their laboratory investigations, what we know so far about what we have discovered. But whilst we do that, Mr. Roderick Dadeje, I lost you a while ago. You're back with us. I wanted to find out from you if the fishes are already on the market. Do we know, even though you're policing?
Yes, we came across, we didn't say on the market, we actually came across a place where they had processed it into Momone. We didn't find it on the market, but there was this place we go to the seashore where they had used salt and they were preparing it. Those there are content. Nobody took the hold up to possess being the one who was doing it. So we just put it together and then we destroyed it. That is why we're doing all this education, because some unscrupulous persons may try such activities, and that is why we are talking about the signs that people should look out for when they are going to buy fish. Ordinarily, when you go and buy fish, you look out for certain signs. What we have seen with this particular fish is that they are not fresh. The scales are not the characteristic bright coloration. The eyes seem to be popping out. That is not what you see with good fresh fish. Then they seem to have a distended abdominal section, towards the looking, having not been stored properly. The skin is not fresh. The odor, the big giveaway, so that is nice at all. But when you have good fresh fish, the scent is characteristic. So we are encouraging people to more or less, somebody will say, shine your eye when you go out there. But the good thing is that the chief fisherman with the MCE, including the FDA, we've made a lot of education already. We are on the field. Even today again, we are back, visited a number of markets. We've educated market quick. In fact, many of them, even, should I say, are well on top of the issue. They know what is happening. Some are even scared, like those selling the king cake, think that this is going to spoil their business. We have been to places where there's a lot of smoking done on a big scale, and we've checked on the sources where they got their fish. So it's an ongoing process, and food safety is everybody's business, and that's why we are encouraging that all of us should help. All of us should be on the lookout.
Okay. But the description that you gave, if the fish is fresh, then we'll be able to tell with the eyes popping and all. If it is smoked, that will be pretty difficult for an ordinary person to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a good observation. That's why we are saying one of the things to watch out for would be that is the price of what is being sold. Or usually, it will be low because the person didn't really spend much resource. However, that product, if you were to break it, smoking does not mean you can back whatever spoiling that has taken or has happened in the internal portion. So that, of course, would mean like breaking up the product, to look at it. So that's why we are encouraging that people should buy from sources that are known to them. People go to the market. You are free to buy anywhere. But usually people do buy from certain particular retailers. So we encourage that you do that because at least there's a kind of relationship between yourself and the one that you are buying from. So these are all areas to explore.
Okay. You also have the laboratory investigation ongoing. How far with that?
With a situation such as this, there's a lot that it entails. The fisheries department would have their own to do because they would have to deal with the issue of the water body, the medium itself, and then the biology of the fish, the internal structure. Sometimes if then that maybe microscopic, you may see the water. So, in short, all I'm just trying to say is that it takes a while, to really get everything together. If it's something, but remember, if it comes to food safety, there are definitely these three hazards you want to look out for: physical hazard, biological hazard, chemical hazard, and it will take a while because if it's chemical in nature, you don't know. It's almost like you are looking for a needle in a haystack. It can be very tricky because if you don't have suspicion of a particular chemical that you are dealing with, you probably will not even run a test for it. And the fact that you didn't run the test and you miss it. So it takes a while. And that is why on food safety basis, we say that once we cannot tell what has killed the animal, we don't recommend that you take the product. Mind you, for example, this situation that we are in now, COVID, is believed to have a zoonotic, background. What does it mean? Diseases that are able to jump from animals to humans straight away. It's called, they are called zoonotic diseases. Mad cow disease, for example, is one such disease. So when you go, an animal dies, you just see it, you want to go for it. You never know what can happen to you. You see cattle dead, it's lying on the field. You see blood coming from the nose, that is hemorrhage. Now, that is bacillus terrors, but you will not see it with your eyes. So that we will bury it, and then we may lime it, so that people don't go and pick it. Even with that, some people are still stubborn, then they go for it. And anthrax will kill you. That is it. So we should not just look at it. It's what we are seeing. It's not normal. And that's the bigger reason why people should not even want to even go near it. You never know what you are dealing with. So investigation over these things takes a while.
Okay.
Let's not rush it. Let's give it time. Let the right things be done. Let the right pictures be put together. And I think in the end, we will have a better understanding.
Okay, so we appreciate that. We appreciate the work that you're doing. But seeing that we don't know the cause of this, is it safe to be consuming fish from the ocean, generally?
Yes, that's a good question. And that's also another thing that the Fisheries Department would have to give an answer, because that's also their expertise. And when one gets to know the root cause analysis is done, and one knows it, then it would, of course, inform us as it is. But, you know, the C2 as it is really is a big body of water. It's got its own strength, and it's able to absorb so much. It's an ecosystem. Something may have affected these fish. Mind you, it's not every species of fish that you saw get washed ashore. So you really don't know what it is. It could be a particular disease affecting a particular set of animals. We don't. They would have to come out of it. So for now, as it is, fisheries would have to come up with some species or some information to help us understand better what's going on.
Okay. Just finally with you, a chief fisherman in Osu told one of our reporters that this thing has happened before, in terms of, you know, them waking up to see fishes being washed ashore. So from where you sit, is this something that you're familiar with, something that has happened before?
Definitely not on this scale. There has been reports that it's been observed probably once a year, but not to this scale. You know, so it could be possible. I, of course, do know of, you know, sometimes overseas we have things like whales and the rest get washed ashore. They practically sort of swim from the deep sea and head for the coast. You never know. They might be a predator or something after them, and that school of whales just come like that, and maybe they get lost because they are in very deep water. Along the coast, it's shallow. So they may be confused and are not able to navigate right. There is some kind of biology that is going on. And I believe that in the end, the fisheries department, that the biologists will be able to tell us better what is happening.
Okay, so just finally, I know I said finally, but just before you go, since you put this statement out, you also advertise with phone numbers. Have you received any information that could help further with the investigations?
That's very interesting. We haven't. We haven't as it is. So maybe for me, it tells me that probably what you are doing this morning, we're talking about it. Various stations try to call me because they need to get it through. One after the other, probably the investigation is going down well, such that people don't. But we are still encouraging, because especially those who may have information of people who may have in possession with them this product, will not encourage that they do call us, because we have things that are going wrong and we would come and then see what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for your time. Mr. Roderick Dadeje is a Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the FDA in charge of food registration, giving us some update from the Food Regulatory Authority's angle in terms of what they're doing with regards these fishes that were suddenly washed ashore in some parts of the Volta, Greater Accra, Western regions. The other leg of it is my conversation with the Director of Public Health with the Accra Metropolitan Authority, Madam Florence Kuukyi, and she's here. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. When did we discover the ACCRA incident?
Okay, so the ACCRA incident, we discovered it on Friday. That was on Good Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, Good Friday. It was Good Friday. We heard the news. The Kole Klote Assembly, the chief executive was actually going around inspecting the beach drive that they are having their building. Then along the line, he heard the information. Then they went to have a look, and lo and behold, this was what they saw before the news spread to the other assemblies that were in charge or part of the sea.
Okay, so this is Osu and Nungwa.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
What kind of fishes did you discover?
So looking at the fish, it was not one kind of fish. There were different types of fish. We have the closer sea fish and then the high sea fish. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
The fear and do we know if they're already on the market? That's one of the questions I put to the AMA, to the FDA. But the officer that I just spoke to indicated that they found some not on the market necessarily, but they had been chopped to be used as more money, and they discovered it before it got onto the market. What have you found out?
Yeah, according to one news I watched somewhere, the man said we've already sold some. You know, it is all comes back to our attitude towards issues in this country. If it was to be in other country, nobody will even touch the fish that were washed ashore. They will have to report to authorities, then authorities will come to do investigations. But in another part of the world, we think of wealth, money. Let me do it. I'm the first person that have come across it, so I have to harvest it, sell it. Before my colleagues come, I've made a lot of money. Forgetting of the cause of the dead fish, it can be pollution. This pollution may not even have happened in Ghana. It could have happened somewhere in a different country that have washed through to this place, and then we could be the end receiving source of the whole pollution or the chemical pollution that might have taken place. Because we don't even know what chemicals that were spilled or poured into the sea. It could be maybe ecosystem cleaning itself. That could be another one. Or there could be some disturbances at the high seas that could destroy the directions of these fish. That could also lead to this. We are yet to. But because we always want cheap things, easy to go by, people have started ignorantly selling these fish to people who also want cheap things. And this is where we are now.
So how do we cure that? Because one of the call really is to watch out for fish that is cheap.
Yeah.
You yourself, you know that ordinarily that's not the price for this type of fish, but suddenly it is so cheap. That's the FDA, that's what they're asking us to do. What is the AMA also asking us to do, and what are you also doing?
Yes, thank you. So FDA or the assembly, we are all about the main interest is about the public health. We are protecting the health of the public. We shouldn't, because there's a saying that cheap things are costly. You go to buy this fish, you know really it should not be sold at this price, but they are selling it, and because you think it's cheap, you buy it. You may not know the end effect that will happen. It may not happen to you alone, your household, and even maybe some friends that depends on you. So we are entreating. To me, I'm thinking as at now, we should have something like we should barricade the seaside and prevent fishermen going ashore. Then we do our checks. Fishery Commission is a whole collaborative entity. It is not for one person. It is a national security issue. It's a health issue and all that. So we should all come on board. It is not my own. It is not your own. We are all coming on board as one body to do the checks. They could go high seas, fetch some fish, come out for us to see whether there are still some of these fishes there that are likely to be washed ashore. Now, Azim have had, Accra has had, and all that. It's still moving on. We don't know where it will end. In Azim, there was this collaboration, the environmental health officers, the BNI, the police, the Fishery Commission, they all came together and then they went to bury these fish at the landfill site. Accra, we did the same thing, but it was at the seashore. Yes.
So you buried them?
Yes.
Okay.
The fishes, those that we were able to get were buried. But those that have found their ways into people's homes, today we've started work. Officers are going to work very hard. They are going to the market, into people's home, ensuring that those that people have harvested and they are turning them into momone, into kobe and other things will be retrieved for sanitary disposal.
How would you be able to tell?
That is the issue. How will we be able to tell if somebody have turned my fish into momone? How will you be able to tell? That is it's a very difficult issue. But as technical officers, we will try as much as we can to safeguard the public health. Yeah.
Okay. Is there, anything that you're picking in terms of, because we can help you do your job better.
Yes.
So in terms of the market women, is there a certain strategy to reach out to them? Market men and women, it's not only women in the market.
Okay. So for instance, you have to look at, when you go to the market to buy fish, you look at, there are some physical appearance of fish. When you look at, this fish is healthy fish, this is not healthy fish. Because when you get fresh fish from the sea, the eyes are glittering, the gills are red. But dead fish, they have dull eyes, and the gills are brownish. So these are some of the lookout we are going to.
So let me ask you the same question I put to the FDA. Yeah. If it is smoked, how can you tell the difference?
That's the issue. If it is smoked, how can we tell the difference? As we are here, we've all seen it. Let me say, it is an investigation we are carrying out. We've all seen the kind of fish that has been washed ashore. So if I go to a fishmonger or a fishmongering community, in Ghana here for now, fishmongers don't usually have sex fish mongering. They go by the, what do you call it, the opoku, the salmon, and that. So going to a fishmongering community and having such type of fish there, that's something should break you to know that no, something is not right. You understand? Okay. Because the investigation is still ongoing.
So are you visiting such places?
Yes, we will do that today, this morning.
Okay.
Sure.
And when you discover, what are you going to do?
When we discover, that is the issue. When we discover, we will collect the fish that we have discovered, because the news have gone out there. You should not use it for people consumption. And nobody will say, I haven't heard it. There are laws and regulations that we are working in this country. When somebody ingests such fishes, we don't know the chemical that is in it. It may lead to death, you understand. And with our public health, if you knowingly do something that will have an effect on the public health, you can either go to the prison not less than 4 years, or you pay a term, or both. You still pay the fine and go to prison not less than 4 years. Yes, so people know all these things. And I'm sure as Ghanaians that we are going to protect ourselves. Yeah.
I understand that in the Osu area, or the areas where we found these dead fishes, this is not the first time we've discovered such a thing.
To me, I haven't heard it before. This is my first time I'm hearing it. They are always by the seaside. So what happened, they could see it. But if the authority are not in the know, we cannot know.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So what general, because you're in charge of public health, what's your caution to us? Should I stay away from consuming any type of fish?
So my caution to the general public out there is, we should be cautious. It is not it is not everybody that sells fish in the market that may be part of this. But what I am saying is, fishermen should cease going to the sea for now. The sea is an ecosystem. It cleanses itself. The sea doesn't want filth. So anything that is filth in the sea, from now till a week's time, everything will come out so that our seas will be safe for them to go in there for harvesting. Yes, because when they go in to harvest the fish and bring it, before they come, I will not be there, you may not be there. The fishmonger who is coming to buy the fish, sometimes some of the fishes always die in the sea before us in the process of bringing them to the shore. So you may not know. But if we all safeguard ourselves, fishermen will, for the sake of love for neighborhood or for colleagues or fellow individuals, they stop going to the fish for fishing for this week, so that by next week we will all be sure that we are safe while we wait for the research, the analysis that are yet going on.
Okay, so this is not a directive, this is just
a caution.
A caution, okay,
yes, please.
From you.
Yes, please.
How much fish were you able to bury?
In fact, they were assorted. There were a series of fish, but there were many. It was about a careful fish. Oh. Yeah. Yes, please.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's been the reaction from the, from the people around? Because I guess initially they would be excited. This is suddenly they didn't even have to work for it.
Yeah.
It came to them.
People were saying God has blessed them with fish for Easter, because God knows that they didn't have money to purchase meat for Easter, so this was gift. But I don't think God will give, if God wants to bless you with something, God will not give you dead fish as Easter gift. God will not do that. God will rather let live fish, wash ashore live fish, then you struggle with the fish, you get the fish. That shows that God doesn't give us bad things, because God loves us. Yeah. So I think that one is not one of the best. When you go to Osusai, some people have already dried some, they've salted some and all that. So today, from now till the end of this week, environmental officers, we have a lot of tasks ahead of us, especially we those working along the coast. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, Madam Florence Kuukyi, as always, thank you so much for your time. What's up with Clean Ghana? We're not following you with our cameras, but you're certainly doing some work.
Yeah, we are doing something. Clean Ghana is because of the COVID. You know, when we are doing Clean Ghana, there is always a lot of gathering around us, and then we are trying as much as to prevent. But very soon, Clean Ghana will step up again.
Okay, so what have you been doing these days?
In fact, we are still doing with the community education. We are educating the public. We are doing food hygiene. We are doing market sanitation and all that. We are still on it. Okay. We are doing our best.
Well, I wish you well.
Thank you, my dear.
Madam Florence Kuukyi heads the Public Health Directorate of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and she's a friend of the show. We like her work. So stay with us. We still have a lot more to talk about, and at 8:30 we're joining the team on the Super Morning Show on Joy FM for that conversation, which will be coming up shortly with Professor Noel Tego. He's a professor of accounting and management practice at the University of Nottingham Business School. He's also the chief executive of Noel Tego and Company, a startup firm that provides advisory, research, and training services in finance, education, strategy, and technology. He is a man loaded, and he's going to be offload a lot of that to help us. So it's generally a conversation about Ghana. They're talking energy, they're talking education, they're talking technology, and a whole lot more. That conversation will start at 8:30 a.m. live here on the AM show. Stay with us.